Okay, welcome back to Bounce Around Charleston. Standing here with me, Katie Blomquist. She's representing Going Places. What is Going Places? I'm going to let her tell you all about it. Welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Going Places. What is that all about?
So Going Places is a nonprofit that I founded after the success of a GoFundMe campaign that I did when I was a teacher last school year. And I raised over $80,000 and got all 650 kids in my Title I elementary school, Pepper Hill, a bike. So since it was so successful, I thought, you know, I'm on to something with this. It's this idea of spreading joy.
Wow.
So I left teaching. It was a really hard decision, but I felt like this was what was next for me. And so I founded Going Places, and now we're going to continue that work on a much larger scale.
For all the Title I schools in the area?
Yes.
Wow.
There's about 33 of them, and our goal is at the max 8 years to get every child in every single Title I elementary school a new bike lock and helmet.
So after it happened successfully for you at Pepper Hill, you decided, I'm on to something, and we will continue with this event.
Yes.
Okay, tell me something. What does a bike mean? What does a kid receiving a bike means to one of the Title I students?
So the biggest thing is it's that piece of joy. It's this thing that we, you know, as a society, most of us have these shared memories dating back to black and white photos of certain childhood joys, like riding a bike is pretty much the main one. But for a lot of these Title I kids, you know, for several of them, when they go home, that's when their stress begins. And they're trapped in these unpredictable environments. And a bike gives them that sense of freedom and escape that they can't get because they're not an adult. They can't just get in their car and go decompress and meet up with friends. It's sense of ownership of something truly of value for them to take pride over and for them to own. And it's a bit of childhood and innocence back in their lives when, unfortunately, several of these kids are children raising children, and it's the 8-year-old and the 10-year-old helping the 4-year-old get up in the morning and go to school, and it's something to kind of give them a piece of that childhood back.
So you try to make sure that every child in that school, the Title I, receives a bicycle.
Yes, every single child deserves joy, and I'm not going to withhold a bike from a child because, let's say, of behavior. So very often that worst behaved child is the child that is lacking the most joy in their life, and they need that bike, honestly, probably more than anybody. And so I'm not going to hold them back for grades or for attendance. A lot of these things are out of their control because they're kids, and a bike brings so much joy to them. It can really change kind of how they proceed.
So you can see this bike also helping to build their self-esteem.
Their social emotional skills and development, yes.
Okay, now spreading joy to teachers program. What is that about?
So having been a Title I teacher, I know it's a very, very stressful job, more so than in more of the affluent schools, because you're much, much more than just a teacher. It's a lot of stress that kids have at home. They do bring to the classroom, and it's, you're dealing with that all day as well. And so also in these Title I schools, there isn't PTO and PTA money to celebrate the teachers and staff. And I say staff because the day porter, the kitchen staff, they're getting paid very minimal, and they're really never celebrated either.
Wow.
So we partner with different businesses and companies whenever the opportunity arises, and we go in and we surprise all the teachers and all the staff in these schools with it can be a gift, big or small. It can be breakfast, it can be lunch, it can be a cup of coffee, anything when the opportunity comes.
To help celebrate their day.
Just to give them a little bit of joy in their life, for that day and make it better.
We need our viewers to know that you have also been nationally recognized for all of your efforts.
I have.
Steve, tell us about it.
Yeah, Steve Harvey flew me out to be a guest on his show during the initial big GoFundMe, and he generously donated $20,000. Initially it was $10,000, and then as I sat there and he interviewed me, he grew up in poverty and he grew up without a bike, and he felt so connected to what I was doing that he was like, this isn't enough, I'm doubling it. And he ended up giving $20,000, which was so generous. I burst into tears, and it really helped. And the New York Nightly News with Lester Holt, they flew a crew out and they covered our bike reveal. ABC World News. TJ Maxx did a week-long Twitter campaign for us where Miss America and Gabby Bernstein did videos saying we've got to support this campaign, and it was in Time Magazine, Women's World Magazine, even the National Examiner wrote a really awesome article about it. Yeah, so it's been really cool.
And all this happened because of what you did at Pepper Hill.
Yes.
Okay, if a person wanted to volunteer, what do they need to do?
Well, right now we don't have many needs for actual volunteers because we're not throwing as many huge fundraisers as we are doing online fundraising. We do small little fundraisers around town that wherever we have the mat kind of hosts and takes care of the fundraising part. But if people want to donate, we also have a CrowdRise account where you can create your own fundraiser and kind of take ownership and really feel like you're not just donating, but you're part of it and rallying others around you to donate. All that can be found on our website, which is goingplacesnonprofit.org.
Goingplacesnonprofit.org. Okay, so what are your long-term goals?
So our long-term goals is at the most 8 years, I want to get every single child in every single elementary Title I school a bike, locker, and helmet. But we plan to expand, throughout the state, throughout the nation. I mean, we have some plans in motion to take this national pretty quickly, and I also plan on implementing other programs. You'll notice, our logo is not a bike because 10 years from now, we'll say, oh, remember when we just did bikes? It's joy, basic childhood joys. So we're going to implement a Halloween costume program. We're going to implement swim lessons eventually, access to summer camp. We're going to grow our teacher gift program. So it's basic childhood joys, and all this is going to be coming, the more money we raise, the faster we can do these things.
I'm watching you, I'm looking at you, and I'm feeling your sincereness about this, and I can feel that this is really doing something for you, just to be able to be a blessing to someone else.
It does. It feels really good. I mean, I don't feel like it's work because I really feel like I was meant to do this, and it brings me joy to bring other people joy, and this is really what I meant to do.
Okay, so now when is the next bike reveal event?
May 1st this year, Mount Zion Elementary School on Johns Island. It's a really rural area, and it's also 90% of those families live out below the poverty line. So that is 300 kids are going to be surprised with a new bike, lock, and helmet. And we don't just use any old bikes. We custom make them with a Forta-Bike. Danny Einhorn is the owner. It's a bike shop on Upper King Street here in Charleston. It's really important to me that we're using a local bike shop because this is all about supporting our local community.
It puts money back in the community, yes.
So we custom design and make the bikes together. The bikes the Pepper Hill kids got were white and neon green, and they were named The Future. These bikes, so if we are able to do another school this year, any 2018 school that gets a bike, they're going to get white and neon red bikes, and they're called The Purpose, because I really feel like this is my purpose, and this didn't happen on accident, it happened on purpose, so it felt like the name was really fitting, and there's lots of really cool surprise elements to these bikes.
Wow, going places. Is there anything else you want to share with our public that they can get involved?
Just definitely go online, donate, follow us on social media, Going Places Nonprofit. Just keep up to date. Always, we have look for our fundraisers we have around town, and just keep talking about it and spreading joy, whatever way you're able to.
Okay, whew. Katie Blomquist, bike reveal at Mount Zion Elementary on May 1st. And for more information, www.goingplacesnonprofit.org, or you can email info@goingplacesnonprofit.org. Katie, thank you for being on Bounce Around Charleston.
Thanks.
Talking about going places, she's going places. Okay, coming up next, we have some wonderful music for you right here on Bounce Around Charleston.